name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going over my March TBR. So we're doing March's TBR the same way we did January and February. I will leave them linked down below in case you have not seen them, but we're gonna start off talking about the buzzword-a-thon. So the buzzword for March is time. Books with the word time in the title. So I looked through all of my books on Goodreads because I have a list of all of my TBR books, and I don't have that many that I haven't already read. I think I was able to find two. Literally two, which is perfect because for the buzzword-a-thon, I let Presley pick which book I'm going to read. And both of these books just so happen to be Star Trek books, magically. I do have some books that I have read before that have the word time in it, but I wasn't planning on doing any rereads in March, as far as I know. So, he got my controllers and he's being a little loud over there. But because of that, I'm going to let him pick between two different Star Trek books. I don't know much about either one of these. Whatever one wins, we will talk about the summary on the back. But yeah, they're a little bit beat up, missing pieces on both of them, and that's just because, you know, they're older. I bought them used. I think I have, yeah, all of my Star Trek books are used. Are you turning on things you're not supposed to be turning on? He's turning on the PlayStations. Okay, but we're gonna grab him so he can choose a book. Can you see? You're so short. Are you ready to pick? You have two books to pick from. We have two Star Trek books. Now, Presley, which one? That one? Okay, he just pointed at it today, probably because he wanted to get the controllers, but he has picked Killing Time. Usually he grabs this out of my hand with the book that he wants. Today, he literally just went, poke. Oh, you wanna come sit? So we have Killing Time by Della Van Heist. I, again, said I don't know much about this, so we're gonna read the back. Second History, a Romulan time-tampering project that has transported the Enterprise and the galaxy into an alternate dimension of reality. Now, Kirk is an embittered young ensign and Spock is a besieged starship commander. Lured into a Romulan trap, Captain Spock and Ensign Kirk must free themselves from both their captors and their own altered selves before the galaxy hurtles toward total destruction. Interesting. So this seems like an alternate universe, potentially, sort of thing. Probably similar in theory, to me personally, to like the Mirror Universe more than like the reboot of the 2009 movies, because that was like a complete alternate dimension, whereas this is like they were put into an alternate dimension. We shall see, but again, I'm very excited. I read a Star Trek book for the first time in a few years in January and actually really enjoyed that one, so I'm looking forward to this one for sure. Now, we are going to move on to the TBR bucket. I have over 600 titles in here. This includes all of my physical TBR as well as all of my ebooks on my Kindle app, and so Presley's very excited. We don't pull this out except for TBR videos, and he's freaking out down here. You want it? He says for something that he wants nowadays. It's really cute, but he wants this. We have over 600 titles, physical books, ebooks, and I'm going to just shake it up a little bit and pick one out. So the book, it's green this time. I think we had green last time too. Okay. It is going to be A Study in Honor by Claire Odell. Okay, so here we go, A Study in Honor by Claire Odell. This, from what I understand, is a sort of like Sherlock Holmes retelling. One thing I did not realize when I bought this, because I actually bought this a while ago from a site where I was just buying things based on cover and synopsis and not actually looking up the author, this does appear to have women of color, specifically black women, on the cover, and I do believe that is who the book is following, but it is written by a white author. I'm still going to read this and see what happens because there is a lot of gray area with this kind of stuff happening, people of color being written by white authors, and depending on what the content of the book is, that's gonna depend on how I feel about that. But just so you guys are aware, that is what it appears to be. 2 black women as our main characters, written by a white author. But let me read the back for you. Dr. Janet Watson knows firsthand the horrifying cost of a divided nation. While she was treating broken soldiers on the battlefields of the new Civil War, a sniper's bullet shattered her arm and ended her career. Honorably discharged and struggling with the semi-functional mechanical arm that replaced the limb she lost, she returns to the nation's capital, a bleak, edgy city, in the throes of a fraught presidential election. Homeless, jobless, and still heartbroken over a bad breakup with her girlfriend, Watson is uncertain of the future when she meets Sarah Holmes, a mysterious yet playfully challenging covert agent who offers the doctor a place to stay. Watson's readjustment to civilian life is complicated by the infuriating antics of her strange new roommate, but the tensions between them dissolve when Watson discovers that soldiers from the new Civil War have begun dying one by one, and that the deaths may be the tip of something far more dangerous, involving the pharmaceutical industry and even the looming election. Joining forces, Watson and Holmes embark on a thrilling investigation to solve the mystery and secure justice for these fallen soldiers. So again, it's very much a like Sherlock Holmes retelling. It seems a little bit more sci-fi, probably seems very dystopian as well. I love Sherlock Holmes stuff, TV show, movie, books. Like, I'm so enthralled with that. That's why I bought this, basically sight unseen, about the author. I saw the cover and the summary and I was like, that sounds very intriguing to me. So this is the next one we are going to be attempting to read in March. Then another book I desperately have to get to in March is going to be House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. This is the Literally Dead book club pick for March. I don't do the Literally Dead book club every single time, especially with this year when I'm trying to not buy as many books. However, I did DNF a book in February, which I will talk about in my wrap up, and switched it out basically for this one. I have been wanting to read this since I worked at Barnes & Noble the first time. I've worked at Barnes & Noble twice, and it's just one that like people seem to absolutely love, at least the ones that I've heard talk about it. It is supposed to be like a haunted house type of story. It's horror. It's told in very weird formats, like the pages change with how you go about it. Like, I'm so intrigued, and so I definitely had to pick this one up when I heard that that's what the book was going to be for March. And so yes, this is the next book. It is quite heavy and thick, but I'm hoping with the fact that it is a weird style for a lot of pages, it'll be a quick read. Now, I've been trying to keep these TBR videos down to like 4, 5, potentially 6 books, because I don't want to feel constrained by what I'm reading every month. I want to have a little bit more. He's trying to get the bucket out. That's Mama's baby. You can't have that. Thank you, though. This poor kid, he's asking please because he wants to open the bucket. We're not going to open the bucket. As I was saying, though, I've been trying to keep my TBRs down because I don't want to feel constrained by what I'm having to read, by feeling like I have to show you what I'm reading and then actually finish everything. I want a little bit more wiggle room to potentially be a mood reader. However, I have a big stack here of things I potentially want to read. I want to read more sci-fi. I love sci-fi, but I do feel like sometimes I put it on the back burner. There are so many fantasy books out that I decided I wanted to maybe dedicate March to reading a little bit more sci-fi. Obviously, not everything is going to be sci-fi because I have the House of Leaves, which is not sci-fi. It's more of a horror as far as I know. And then A Study in Honor is more dystopian, which I guess does fit in sci-fi, but I don't think it's necessarily the sci-fi that I look for. But I do have some books here that I definitely want to try to get to. I don't know much about them. I'm not going to read the synopsis on every single one of these because I'm not too sure how much I'm going to read. The first one I want to try to read is Binti by Nnedi Okorafor. This one I do have on ebook. It is a novella, so it should be very quick to get through because I only have the first one so far. But yeah, it's sci-fi and I believe it is set in space, so I'm very, very excited for that one. I also have Sleeping Giants by Sylvain Neuvel. This one I have the entire trilogy and I have not read them yet. I've heard so many people say that they like this. It's not super long, and this has something to do with somebody finding a giant hand, I'm pretty sure, and then things go from there. I am fully expecting to love this, and I just really need to get to it. The next one I have here is Velocity Weapon by Megan E. O'Keefe. This was a gift for Christmas from Lena from Sufficiently Advanced Lena. This is a book that she absolutely loved. I am fully expecting to love this one as well. I have a lot of the same tastes, especially in sci-fi, that Lena does. We love the same games, like Mass Effect, and I'm pretty sure this one reminded her of Mass Effect as well. So like, I'm very, very excited for this. Then I also have Prime Deceptions by Valerie Valdez. This is the sequel to Chilling Effect that I read last year by Valerie Valdez. I really did enjoy that one. Obviously picked up the sequel, and I just haven't read it yet. I don't know why I've put it off, but I have. And I definitely need to get to it. Chilling Effect reminds me so much of Mass Effect. I'm gonna be talking about Mass Effect more and more probably as we get closer to the release date for the Legendary Edition in May, but I need to read this. It also has cats on the cover, so I mean, come on. Another sequel that I definitely want to read is Love Code by Anne Aguirre. This is the sequel to Strange Love, which again, I read last year. This one was one of my top books of 2020. I absolutely loved it. It's a sci-fi romance, and this sequel is actually more like a companion novel. It's gonna follow a different character, basically an AI character, and a scientist, I believe. I don't know for sure, but I definitely need to get to this one as well. And then for YA sci-fi, I have Goddess in the Machine by Laura Beth Johnson. This was an Owl Crate book that we got sometime in the second half of last year. And again, I don't know why I haven't read it yet. I definitely need to, because this for sure is gorgeous. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous book. Gold edges and everything. But it's sci-fi. Young adult sci-fi too, which I feel like I need more of in my life. And this one has something to do with a girl who wakes up after cryosleep, but I think it was a much longer time period than she fully expected to be in cryosleep. So again, very intrigued. And then finally, if I can get to these, we shall see. These are probably my lowest priority for the month, even though I definitely want to get to them. He's moving the camera. Why are you moving the camera, dude? This is Mama's camera. Crescent Winter by Marissa Meyer. These are the last two books in the Lunar Chronicles series. There are 4 books total, and I've read the first 2 years ago. So ultimately, the reason why these are low priority is I would probably have to reread Cinder and Scarlet first to get to Cress and Winter. But I need to read them because I've never finished the series. I have not ever read these 2 books. And again, I really did enjoy the first 2. It's just been years since I read them. So yeah, these are YA sci-fi retellings of fairy tales, which is always exciting. And then, can we even see the books anymore because Presley moved stuff? There we go. That is it for this TBR. Again, way more books than I really should be planning on reading in March, but this is what I'm saying. For sure, the first 3 books that we talked about are getting read. So, Killing Time, A Study in Honor, and House of Leaves. Those are for sure getting read. Everything else is I want to read it. We'll see what happens. I don't even know what order I'm planning on reading them in, but I want to read more sci-fi, and these are the ones on the top of my sci-fi list. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos. I do have videos up Mondays, Thursdays, and sometimes Saturdays, so I will see you then. Bye!